friends, I'm Anushka, and today we will go on an adventure to know what are parallelograms. Hello, Anushka. I know that you are in my castle. What do you want? Oh, actually, I wanted to know what are parallelograms. If you want to know that, then you have to solve a puzzle. But remember, before that, you need to know what are quadrilaterals. Who are you? Oh, I don't know what are quadrilaterals. Can you teach me, please? I am Creepella. Yes, sure. So come inside my creepy classroom. Now, my friend Creepy will teach you about the quadrilaterals. Hello, Anushka. So let's start with our topic quadrilaterals. So, what are quadrilaterals? A four-sided figure is a quadrilateral. Here you can see all these shapes have four sides, so they are quadrilaterals. Before moving on, let me tell you there are three types of quadrilaterals. They are trapezium, kite, and parallelogram. So first, what is trapezium? So, a quadrilateral in which one pair of opposite sides is parallel is trapezium. The parallel sides are called the base of the trapezium. Now, let's know about the properties of trapezium. So, the first one is in this figure, which you can see, the adjacent angles are supplementary, like this angle, the two base one. If we add the measure of these two angles, it will be equals to 180 degrees, and it is the same with the other two angles. Likewise, that the adjacent angles are supplementary. Now, we move on to kite. What is kite? A quadrilateral which has two pairs of adjacent sides is a kite. Now, let's know about the properties of the kite. The diagonals of a kite intersect at right angles. So, first, let's mark the figure. Like it is A, and this is C, this is B, and this is D. Now, let's see. So, according to the first property, the diagonals which pass from the center of these 2 points, they form a 90-degree angle or a right angle. Now, let's discuss the second property. First, let me mark it again. Second property is in the above figure, angle A is equal to angle C. So means the opposite angles horizontally. This is the way horizontal and this is vertical. So the one which is horizontal has equal measure of opposite angles. Now let's move on to the third property. Let me mark it again. It's almost done. Yes. Now it is OA equals to OC in this figure. So I have already shown you that these diagonals intersect at 90 degrees. So let's mark this point as O. Now here it says OA is equal to OC. So means the length of these two sides is equal. So now let's move on to the other property. Now the next one is, in the above figure, diagonal BD bisects angle B as well as angle D. As I've already told you about the diagonals, this is the diagonal BD. It starts from B and ends at D, and it bisects means divides the angle into equal measure, and those angles are B and D. Now let's move on to the last property of the kite. Let's mark them again. The below one is B. In the above figure, diagonal BD divides the kite into congruent triangles. Here, triangle ABD is congruent to CBD. So, it's saying this diagonal DB divides the kite into two congruent triangles, which are ADB and DCB. So it's dividing it into two congruent triangles. Now, let's know about parallelograms. What is a parallelogram? A quadrilateral which has both opposite sides are of equal length is a parallelogram. Now let's discuss about the properties of the parallelogram. The opposite sides of a parallelogram are of equal length. So let's mark them. A, B, and C and D. Now it says the opposite sides. So AB will be equal to side DC, and side BC will be equal to side AD. So it shows the property of a parallelogram. Now let's see the next one. So let me first label the diagram, then we'll see. Yes. So the opposite angles of a parallelogram are of equal measure. Like this, angle D will be equal to the opposite angle B, and angle A will be equal to the opposite angle C. Now let's see the third property of parallelogram. So it is, the diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. Here, this is one diagonal and this is the other diagonal. These both are bisecting each other, so it means that this diagonal is divided into two equal halves, and this diagonal AC is also divided into two equal halves. Now let's see the last property of the parallelogram. So it is the adjacent angles of a parallelogram are supplementary. So it means angle D will be supplementary to angle C. Supplementary means equal to 180 degrees. Sum of angles which is equal to 180 degrees. So as we all know that parallelograms, which here you can see is a rectangle, has a measure of 90-degree angle. So here if you'll see 90 degrees, angle D is equals to 90 degrees and angle C equals to 90 degrees. And if we add these both, we will get 180 degrees. So it shows the property. And adjacent means which lies on the same line, as angle D and angle C lie on the same line. And the same case is with angle B and angle A, angle A and angle D, angle B and angle C. Now my class is finished, and now you are ready for the quiz. Now from here, my friend Creepala will continue. Bye. I had made a form for you, and if you pass, you will be able to escape this castle. Here is the form link. You can give the test now. After a moment. Yay! I've passed with the test with full marks. See, I've got 10 out of 10. Now you have passed the test, and here I open my doors. You can go now. Oh, thank you so much. Bye bye. It was a great adventure learning, and I learned so much. I think you all must have learned many new things, and I will paste the test link in the description so that you can also play the quiz. It was really a fun adventure. Thank you. With you by Anushka Singh 1, Class 8H.